Boy, you have seen nothing 2018 is officially on, people. Yes, we are back with this segment, and I cannot wait to do this segment again. And for the first Boy You Have Seen Nothing in 2018 is going to be for No Country for Old Men. Enjoy. Hey, what's up, you guys? FilmFan0599 here again, and today we're going to review No Country for Old Men. So No Country for Old Men stars Josh Brolin, Javier Bardem, and Tommy Lee Jones, and what this film is basically about, it's about, you know, when Josh Brolin finds that a drug deal has gone wrong, and he sees a briefcase full of $2 million. And he, takes the briefcase. Then some people, he gets himself into a little bit of trouble, and now Javier Bardem is after him, and it's basically kind of a chase from there. So, what did I think of No Country for Old Men? Now, I will say this. Like I said, I've never seen the movie. It's on Boy You've Seen Nothing, so obviously I've never seen it before, but I've heard many great things about it. I mean, it won Best Picture almost 10 years ago now, and this movie, a lot of people consider the Coen Brothers best, so I was very interested to see what was all the praise about. And I loved it. I absolutely loved this movie. For the first 96 minutes of it, this movie is phenomenal for the first 96 minutes. Then when you get to the last half, the last 30 minutes, it kind of dips a bit. You know what I mean? Like, I'll still say this. The first two acts kind of outweigh how not so great the last act was. So I could still say it's a pretty good movie. It's still really good. But man, did the last act kind of hurt the movie from being what was so amazing about it. And just, yeah, man, like, I was really loving this movie. But then the last 30 minutes happened, and I was like, man, like, I was so into it, and then that just happened. But I still will say, overall, it's still a pretty solid film. So let's get into my positives. And my positives are, first being the acting. The acting is really good in this movie. I thought everyone did a really solid job in the film. Josh Brolin was great. I really enjoyed him in the film. He was really fantastic. I really enjoyed, seeing his character and everything, and he was great. I really thought he brought a lot to this character, and he was great. I really did enjoy Josh Brolin in this movie. Javier Bardem, who gives the performance of a lifetime in this movie. Definitely one of the best villains I think I've ever seen, honestly. He was fantastic. I loved Javier Bardem in this movie. He was really great. And really menacing, too, and that's what I liked a lot the most about his character in this movie. Very menacing. Very, very tense as well, and he was great. I really loved him in the movie. Tommy Lee Jones is fantastic as well. I thought he gave a really good performance in the film as well. Woody Harrelson, who isn't in it that much of the movie, but when he is in it, he's actually really good too, and I liked him in the movie too as well. So, yeah, the acting is really good in this movie. I thought everyone gave a pretty stellar performance in the film. This movie gets really intense at points. There are some really intense moments, especially one that happens in a motel. That's all I'm gonna say, and what leads afterwards is insane, and it's great. I really enjoyed that a lot. Like, it's a really intense movie. It's really fantastic. I really love the tension in this movie. Like, you feel like on the edge of your seat, wondering what's gonna happen next. It's truly, like, it's true tension at its finest. Like, I really liked that a lot about the movie. It was great. Like, I really did feel the intensity with the film and all that. I really like I really like seeing, like, it's kind of also a character study a little bit too, and I really liked seeing that as well, following Josh Brolin's character and all that, and seeing kind of his arc, and it's great. I really liked that a lot about the movie too, and, following him was really fantastic. The writing is fantastic with the movie too. I thought the writing was really great. Like, the dialogue in the scenes are really, really fantastic. I really love the dialogue a lot in this movie. It's really great. Like, I really do think the screenplay is really fantastic with this film. Of course, it's the Coen brothers. They know how to write movies, and they do an absolutely amazing job writing this film. Like, seriously, their writing for this film is really fantastic. I really love the dialogue with this movie a lot. The directing is really fantastic with this movie, too. Very well shot, very well edited. Cinematography is really fantastic with the movie, too. And it's really well directed. Like, I really love the directing with this movie. It's very, very murky almost as well. Like, that's what I like about it a lot too. Like it's kind of a little bit murky. And it really fits the overall tone of this movie. And I like that a lot. Like, the directing was really fantastic with the film. I really did think the Coen brothers do a really great job directing this film. The movie does move at a pretty solid pace for the most part, really. It is 2 hours and 2 minutes, and really doesn't feel like that, honestly, for the most part. Like, I really didn't feel like this movie was 2 hours and 2 minutes. I just felt like it was only kind of 80 minutes. Like, it just goes by that fast for the most part, honestly. I really like that a lot, so yeah. Now, the negatives. First, okay, let me get first to the negative that I did actually have before the last 30 minutes happened. The only negative that I did have beforehand was that the movie, it was kind of, like, struggling for me at first. Like, when it first started out, I was just kind of like, where's this heading? Like, it kind of like I just didn't know really how to feel at first. But once the plot kicks in, it kicks in hard. And that's why I was really starting to get invested with the movie. So yeah, that was my only one little issue with the movie at first, up until the last 30 minutes. And I'll talk about that now. The last 30 minutes to this movie, it's just the way, with no spoilers, because I really don't want to give out spoilers. I know this movie's, you know, over 10 years old now, but still, it's just what they do with a certain arc. The way that they finished it was just kind of, what? Like, it felt kind of abrupt, and it just had no conclusion, if you know what I mean. And it just was like, you're gonna just end it like that, like, end that arc just like that, from out of nowhere. And I didn't really like how they handled that. Like, the way that they handled it was actually pretty poor to me. I really didn't like how they did that with this movie. Like, it was very, very poor how they handled that certain arc and how they ended it. And I was just like, really? Like, it's just, okay. Like, I really didn't feel like they handled the end of that arc very well, honestly. It just felt very abrupt and not conclusive whatsoever. And that's why also my last issue, I feel like there's not really a conclusion to this movie. I feel like there are certain other arcs that are not that finished. Like, it just feels like the movie didn't really have a conclusion. And that's why I really don't like. It really just felt like there was more that had to be offered, and there really wasn't a conclusion to it. And apparently this is how the book ends, because this movie's based on a book. And that just goes to show you that some things can work in a book, that some things just can't work in a movie. And that shows that in this movie. Honestly, that it just, some things that are adapted from something just can't work in a movie. And this abrupt conclusion definitely seems like one of those things. And I just didn't like that. And that's honestly probably my biggest issue with this movie. And what keeps me from saying it's amazing or anything is because it just doesn't feel conclusive. So overall, I will say No Country for Old Men is still a really solid movie, because there is a lot more that really keeps it from, there's a lot more that keeps me for saying that it is a really solid movie. And, you know, if it wasn't for the last 30 minutes of the movie, I would say this is a phenomenal film. But overall, I still think it's a pretty solid movie. So aside from my official grade on No Country for Old Men, and my official grade on No Country for Old Men is a B+. Like I said, it's still a really solid movie. There's some really good things about it, like the acting, the tension, the directing, the dialogue with the movie. And overall, I will say it is a very good movie. I did like No Country for Old Men a lot. It's a very solid film, despite of the last 30 minutes. So, yeah, I did enjoy No Country for Old Men. Pretty solid. Liked it a lot. Definitely deserves a B+. So if you have seen No Country for Old Men, what did you think of it? Leave in the comment section below, and I'm FilmFan0599, and we will see you out later. Peace.